Today, I will be presenting the article Alcohol and Violence in the Lives of Gang Members by Geoffrey P. Hunt and Karen Jo Leiter. This is an informative article that describes the intricacies of how alcohol affects violence and life within gangs. It goes into details ranging from how alcohol plays a part in violence to its use in events. Alcohol plays such a major role in the lives of gang members, despite the fact that most researchers focus on the role drugs play instead. We must be informed about this as gang violence is definitely still a problem, and discovering the roots of it is vital in learning how gangs function. Life within a gang includes two endemic features, violence and alcohol. Yet to date, most researchers studying gang behavior have focused on violence and its relationship to illicit drugs, largely neglecting the importance of alcohol in gang life. Because alcohol is an integral and regular part of socializing within gang life, drinking works as a social lubricant to maintain not only the cohesion and social solidarity of the gang, but also to affirm masculinity and male togetherness. In addition to its role as a cohesive mechanism, drinking within gangs may act as a mechanism to maintain group boundaries. Examples of internal gang violence associated with drinking include fighting between members because of rivalries, tensions, or notions of honor or respect. At a more symbolic level, drinking is associated with two important rituals, initiations and funerals. By better understanding the link between drinking and violence among youth gangs, steps can be taken to determine the social processes that occur in the development of violent behavior after drinking. Violence is endemic to gang life. It can be seen as the currency of life within gangs, so much that it can be taken as normative behavior. Violence within gang life includes both inter-gang violence, for example, ritualistically violent initiations, inter-gang violence, and another example which is turf battles. In order to explain the daily occurrence of violence within the social life of gangs, both researchers and criminal justice officials have tended to focus their recent attention on the role of illicit drugs as a crucial explanatory factor. This preoccupation with gang and drug-related violence has tended to overshadow the significant role of alcohol in gang life and its possible relationship with violent behavior. In the same way that violent behavior is a common currency within gang life, so also is drinking. Although few researchers have looked specifically at the role of alcohol within the social life of gangs, some gang researchers have noted that drinking is a major component of the social life of gangs and a commonplace activity. To understand the role of alcohol in the lives of gang members, we must begin our analysis by considering the characteristics and dynamics of street life. As many researchers have noted, being on the streets is a natural and legitimized social arena for many working-class, minority male adolescents. For many of these young men, life is neither the workplace nor the school, it is the street. Life on the streets is governed by rules of masculinity, in which notions of honor, respect, and status afford outlets for expressing and defending one's masculinity. The entry to life on the street is through a street gang. The gang epitomizes masculinity and ensures male bonding. Once in a gang, young men gain status and respect through their ability both to assert themselves by being street smart and to defend their fellow gang members by being ready to come to their aid should they need assistance. Working class minority gang members can gain respect through their ability to fight. Not only must they be prepared to defend themselves and their fellow gang members, they also must be prepared to defend the reputation of their gang. Given the masculine culture of street life, what role does alcohol play? Gang members spend the majority of their day hanging around or just chilling, and typically describe this activity in the very mundane terms of doing nothing. Although perceived as a waste of time, the everyday practice of doing nothing is often an intense and busy period, and the activities that occur include talking, recounting details from previous events, maintaining and defending one's respect, keeping the police at bay, cruising around in the car, defending turf, and getting high. During most of these activities, drinking is endemic, and the consumption of alcohol occurs continually throughout the course of everyday social activities. As with many other social groups, drinking can be said to act as a social glue, working to maintain cohesion and group solidarity. Drinking works in several symbolic ways in the gang. Because drinking is integral and regular part of socializing within gang life, drinking works not only as a social glue, but also to affirm masculinity and male togetherness. Examples of internal gang violent activities associated with drinking include fighting between gang members because of rivalries, tensions, or notions of honor or respect. Tensions may arise when two gang members or cliques compete for power or status within the gang. After bouts of drinking, These simmering rivalries may erupt, and fighting often occurs. In such cases, alcohol works to create a ritualized context for fighting and violent confrontations, whether physical or verbal, in which inbuilt tensions can be released or disputes settled within a contained area. Once resolved through alcohol-related violence, the group can maintain its cohesion and unity. In fact, on some occasions, once the conflict is ceased, the antagonists seal the unity by sharing a beer. At a more manifestly symbolic level, drinking is associated with two important ritual events in gang life. For many gangs, new members are expected to go through an initiation, often referred to as jumping in. This induction process, or rite of passage, is important because it is designed to symbolically test the newcomer's toughness and his ability to defend himself and withstand physical violence. Within the gang, this process can serve to test a member's toughness and desire for membership, and to enhance loyalty to the group. Once initiation has been accomplished and the newcomers accepted, the new status is confirmed by a bout of drinking and getting drunk. The association of alcohol and violent behavior is confirmed. Funerals are the second ritual event in gang life in which alcohol and violence are associated. Here, gang members in mourning use alcohol to represent their connectedness to the dead member. They pour alcohol over the grave or leave alcohol at the grave site to symbolize their unity. After the funeral has taken place, the group may begin heavy drinking. At this time, gang members may again symbolize their connectedness to the dead by pouring some of their beer or alcohol on the ground again. Drinking also may lead the group to decide on taking revenge, either on those responsible for the death of their gang member or, in some cases, on innocent individuals. In addition to those violent activities internal to the gang, violence between opposing gangs is another frequent and common activity that is associated with drinking. Different types of activities include the following: violence targeting a member or members of a rival gang, violence against residents of the gang's own neighborhood, and violence against gangs or residents of another neighborhood. The reasons for such conflict are varied and include such issues as gang members testing others, gang members' perceptions that they have been disrespected, fear that the territory is under threat, and gang members' attempts to expand their turf. In many of these types of external violent activities, drinking prior to the event is common. Although gang members expressed no overall agreement on the issue of whether alcohol improved their ability to fight, two features were clear. First, confrontations between rival gang members frequently took place while gang members were drinking. Second, in spite of disagreements as to the precise effects of alcohol, many of the respondents admitted that drinking assisted to develop a sense of kira, or pump them up, making them ready to fight. In these cases, alcohol works as an enabling mechanism. Thus, alcohol may be perceived as the catalyst for violent incidents, either because drinking was more likely to lead to fighting, or because, once drunk, the gang members did not care what happened. These violent activities, which are encouraged by young men drinking, work to bind the group together. The identity of the group is continually reinforced by these conflicts with other gangs or individuals, while enforcing the gang's separateness. While alcohol and group drinking can work to maintain and confirm group cohesion, it also can operate in a divisive manner. These internal conflicts occur when honor and respect have been questioned, or when previous rivalries or tensions surface. Fighting often occurs because of a supposed slight, an accent, or an unfortunate any action that might be interpreted as showing disrespect. Fortunately, conflicts within the gang do not appear to lead to long-lasting rifts. Once the fighting is over, the group reconvenes. In such cases, alcohol works to create a context for fighting and violent confrontations in which tension can be released or disputes settled. Once the tensions are resolved through alcohol-related violence, the group can again regain its cohesion and unity. In focusing on drinking and violence among youth gangs, researchers can begin to explore the social processes that occur in the development of violent behavior after drinking. Thank you for listening.